Last month, 3 people sailed out of Somes Sound off Mount Desert Island, bound for the warmer waters of Miami. But they never made it.
First, a garbled distress call from a cell phone on board the Dove launched a multi-day Coast Guard search off the Maine coast that turned up nothing.
Friends and family of the crew feared the worst until days later, the crew was heard from again off the eastern tip of Long Island, New York. But the odyssey of the Dove did not end there. News Center Maine's Samantha Sugarman sat down with 2 of the boat's crew who are now sharing their story for the first time.
You go! Okay. You get it! Up.
Hold on tight.
No!
Rescued at sea, like something out of a movie. Except this really happened to Charlotte Kirby and her 2 crewmates.
My whole life pretty much was on that boat.
Kirby had been living on the sailboat Dove with her fiance, Dove's owner and captain, Nat Davis.
I was kind of just along for the ride.
With a 3rd crew member, Wilfredo Lombardo, the couple set sail the night of November 15th.
We got on Dove at John Williams Boatyard, sailed Dove across the sound.
What started as a days-long trip to Miami.
Hello, America. I've missed you. Be back soon.
Became a days-long search by the U.S. Coast Guard.
I had no idea if they were able to pinpoint my call when I dialed 911 and what that would kind of set into gear.
Within 4 hours of setting sail, Kirby's health became a concern.
Feeling seasick and throwing up and being shook from one side of the boat to the other, like getting bruised up, getting banged up.
Frostbite and hypothermia, also a concern, as the Coast Guard search for the crew, thought to be in distress, continued. Without a working radio, it took 3 days to make contact.
We're not missing. We are found.
Found, but not out of deep water.
Get down! We couldn't use the motor. We couldn't use the sail. We were completely powerless. After having begged to be taken to shore the past 5 days, that's when I knew that we were in trouble, serious trouble.
The boat's boom, broken. The mast snapped in half. The crew's only hope to be rescued.
I was really nervous. What are they doing? Who are these people? Are they pirates?
That's Jaguar Max, the boat that supposedly is going to rescue us.
After 5 days at sea,
You hold on tight! You hold on tight!
their harrowing rescue aboard the Jaguar Max off the coast of Virginia made all the more difficult by the storm and the sea. Despite Dove still being somewhere at sea, Captain Nat Davis says he would do it all over again.
For the love of sailing.
And his dream to sail around the world. Samantha Sugarman, News Center, Maine.
We reached out to the U.S. Coast Guard sector in Virginia. They say the crew of the Dove is not facing any fines or charges in the wake of that search for their sailboat.
But the Coast Guard does say what happened with the crew highlights just how quickly weather can turn when out at sea, as well as the importance of having a working radio on board.